Now when it comes to metal snare drums, there are 4 main metals that are used. Going from brightest to darkest, you have steel, aluminum, brass, and then copper. Well, in this video, I'm gonna show you a snare drum that sits kind of in between brass and copper. What's going on, everybody? Nick Costa here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the Ludwig 6.5X14 Pewter Copperphonic Snare Drum. This was a limited release snare drum that Ludwig came out with, which you may or may not know about. Now before we dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that I release on the channel. Now, when it comes to metal snare drums, let's face it, Ludwig is the pioneer. Whether it's the Black Beauty, which is a brass shell with black nickel plating, the Superphonic, which is an aluminum shell with chrome plating, the Acrolite, which is just an aluminum shell, or those super affordable rocker snare drums that are steel shells, which, by the way, I recommend you grab one as soon as you can before those prices go through the roof. Now, obviously, there are more snare drums that Ludwig has released, but at the end of the day, those are the primary ones. Then, all of a sudden, copper came into play. Similar to brass, it gives you a darker tone than aluminum or steel, but because of the characteristics, it gives you a little bit more of a direct sound, whereas brass is very resonant. So when Ludwig released the Pewter Copperphonic snare drum, they took one of their copper spun shells and they put a pewter plating over top of it. Now this drum was released in 2020 and originally was a 6.5x14 shell. And about halfway through the year, Ludwig released a 5x14 shallower model. Now the one I'll be showing you in this video is the original 6.5x14 model. Once again, it is a spun copper shell with pewter plating. Now as far as hardware is concerned, the drum came with 10 Imperial lugs, as well as Ludwig's 2.3mm triple flange hoops, the upgraded P88 AC throw-off, which is super easy to get on and off, and the fine-tune adjuster has the built-in notches. That way you don't have to worry about your snare wires coming loose as you play it. Now originally this drum came equipped with Ludwig Weathermaster heads. It had a heavy head on the top and then the clear snare side on the bottom. Now after experimenting, I found out I could get my sound using a Remo codec controlled sound for the top and an ambassador snare side for the bottom. For snare wires, it is the generic Ludwig snare wires. Now, just like every other drum demo video, I'm gonna play this snare drum through a few different tunings. That way you can hear the versatility of the drum. So, enough of me talking, let's dive into playing. Now, the one thing I noticed when I first played this drum when I got it way back in 2020 was that it already sounds like it's gone through EQing and processing like it would for a professional recording. I feel that that pewter plating just kind of wakes up the copper metal a little bit. So rather than it being really direct, gives it just a little bit more life and opens up the drum a bit more. This allows you to get a great middle ground between a brass shell, which is really resonant, and a copper shell, which is really direct. Either way, I would love to hear what you think of this drum, so make sure that you leave it in the comment section below, letting me know. Also, if you have any other additional questions, you can also leave that in the comment section, and I'll try my best to answer them. Although this was a limited edition release, the really cool thing is that you can still find them online. A quick Google search will help you find some Ludwig retailers that still have these available for sale. Now, I did find a couple shops, so I put links in the description below in case you are interested in purchasing one. Also, if you want to see other videos from the Snare Saturday series, I put the playlist link in the description below as well. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on the Ludwig 6.5x14 Pewter Copperphonic Snare Drum. And until next time, see you later.